Thank you.
One more witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Witness sworn.
What's your name?
Edward Schroder.
And Sheriff, tell the judge where you're employed.
I'm currently the Sheriff of Cass County, Indiana.
Okay. And just to kind of get through some of the technicalities here, you were a state trooper for, I don't know, a long time, right? 30 years?
Yes, sir. I retired from the state police after 31 years as a major.
Okay. And so you were in charge of at least one post, if not others?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
About 350 people.
All right. And is it fair to say, well, just tell the judge real quick, what are your general responsibilities in Cass County as the sheriff?
As the sheriff, I believe my duties are serve the courts, as well as general law enforcement, and administrator, chief administrator of the Cass County Detention Jail Facility.
And tell the judge, just as we sit here today, kind of what the size of your jail facility is and how many people you house maybe.
Your Honor, we just finished a remodeling addition, added approximately 150 beds. Our facility was 220, built in the year 2000. Now, our 80% capacity's near 309 offenders.
So you had 220 beds. You added 150 more?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how far is your jail from here in Carroll County, roughly?
Approximately 30 minutes.
And is this a modern facility? Basically the most modern jail facility in the state?
I don't know if it's the most modern in the state. It's the current technology for video conferencing, as well as video cameras. So it's the newer technology, yes.
Okay. And do you have the ability to house violent offenders?
Yes, sir. That's what jails do.
Do you do that routinely?
I will believe so, yes.
Do you house individuals actually for the Department of Corrections?
Not in the essence that we hold them for them. We hold them while they're waiting transfer to the Department of Corrections after they have been sentenced.
Okay.
So yes, in that sense, we would have them.
And some of those, is it fair to say some of those people are held for long periods of time?
Yes.
I mean, we're not just talking days, it'd be months.
Correct.
Okay. So do you house offenders from other counties?
Currently, we do not have any from other counties, but we have memorandums of understanding for other facilities.
Okay. And so is it normal for that to happen over the course of has it been normal for that to happen over the course of your time as a sheriff?
Just in the last year, since we've completed our construction project.
Okay. Let me make sure I'm asking the question right. Is it normal for you to move inmates from your facility to other county facilities, back and forth, based on needs and space and things like that?
Yes.
Basically, everybody helps everybody out?
Correct, yes.
And what are your current capabilities in terms of segregating any particular inmate, if that needs to happen?
It would really depend on the segregation needed. We have administrative segregation, as well as disciplinary segregation. We have padded cells for mental health crisis, as well as we don't have any individual cells, but we have dual people calls, dual person, dual male, dual female cells.
Okay. You, frankly, gave me a little bit of a tour. I should say a tour through your prison a week or two ago. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And did it by video. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Is it? Are you in a circumstance in your facility where you could house somebody like, let's say, Rick Allen, who is, maybe there's a heightened sense of security around that, with some reasonable comfort that he's gonna be safe?
I believe housing-wise, yes. I believe the other administrative things go along with that. The media request, the public information request would be a burden for the staff. But yes, I believe we could house him.
So in terms of his actual physical safety, that's something that you could do if you were asked to do it?
Correct.
I mean, is that the business you're in, basically housing people and keeping them safe?
Yes, sir, it is.
Let's just talk generally about kind of. I'm gonna give you a hypothetical. Let's say that Mr. Allen was housed in your jail, and I wanted to visit with him. Tell the judge how long it would take me to come over and see Mr. Allen just in raw time if you could estimate. Is that if you're already at our facility, or if you walk from your office?
No, if I'm in my office.
It would be a half a block walk to our central control. He would talk to our central control operator, tell us who he's there to see. We would have the inmate moved, and then we would put Mr. Rossi in an attorney room. It's not face-to-face. It's through glass. And then we would have the inmate moved to him in, I would say in, best case scenario, 15 minutes. Okay. So is it basically me just walking around the block and opening one door?
Yes, sir.
And essentially, there's some meeting rooms, and I just walk in one of those rooms, and he's brought up.
Yes, sir.
If you were to move him, when you move inmates from their cell locations to visit with their lawyers, do they walk freely under their own free will?
If we don't have them in administrative or disciplinary segregation, yes.
Okay. So, in other words, if they've threatened an officer or beat up another inmate or something, you gotta kind of tighten up, right?
That's correct.
But in a case where, if I were just meeting with a client, they just walk freely. They're not shackled, are they?
No, we do not normally, within the facility, shackle or handcuff offenders or inmates unless there's some reason to do that.
Okay. Is there any requirement for me to make advance reservations, let's say a day in advance or hours in advance, for me to come and see a client?
No, sir. We honor requests typically from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. for both the prosecution and defense attorneys.
Let's talk about video cameras. Do you have video cameras in your facility?
Approximately 150, yes.
And did you actually show me some of those cameras, and kind of what that looks like from your end in terms of what you can supervise and monitor a few weeks ago?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did the visitation rooms have cameras in them?
They do, yes.
Tell the judge where they're located.
In the upper. So if the attorney's sitting across, it'd be in the upper left-hand corner in the ceiling.
All right. And is there any way for you, as a sheriff, a supervisor of these inmates, to hear or interpret what's going on between the attorney and client based on what you can get video access?
No, sir.
Based on the video access?
It's a single dome camera that doesn't have the ability to tilt, pan, or zoom. So and there's no audio capability in those rooms as well.
Basically, it just shows the back of the heads of the inmate and see the attorney through glass, right?
Correct.
If you were to solitarily detain anyone, whether it be Mr. Allen or someone else, would they have the ability to shower daily?
Yes, sir.
Would they have the ability to obtain discovery from their lawyers and, view that without any kind of burden?
We do not do electronic media, but we allow legal mail and correspondence through written documents, through paper.
So if I brought a pack of discovery in there and handed it to your jail staff, would they give it to him?
Once they searched it to make sure, remove the staples and paper clips, and then just thumb through it to make sure there's no other contraband. Yes.
And they just hand it to him?
Correct.
Are there attorneys that visit the Cass County Jail that are allowed to bring computers in there?
Yes.
And phones?
Yes.
And is the visitation room essentially set up so that those things can happen with some convenience?
Yes. The attorney and client or the offender/inmate are separated by ballistic glass with there's a technical term, but I'll call the old theater speaker so that you can communicate back and forth.
Okay. And, in fact, you can even share documents in that.
Yes.
House, right.
If they're paper.
Right there in that housing facility situation.
Yes, sir. It will accept up to 3 pieces at a time.
Okay. Did you receive a call from me several months ago about trying to make some arrangements to get Mr. Allen to your jail?
Yes, sir.
And essentially, is it fair to say that you were willing to do that if the court signed an order directing you to do it?
Correct. I think the exact phrasing used, I really don't want him. I don't need the extra heartache, the stress, and the litigation liability, as well as the media inquiries, as well as public records requests. But if so, order by the court, that's the business I'm in, and yes, we would do our best.
And I came to you up front and asked you about that in advance, right?
Correct, yes.
Did you see what I reported to the court in my pleadings?
I read part of it, but I don't think I've read
Okay.
the entire argument.
Okay. Do you believe that your jail, whether you want to or not, do you think your jail is well suited to handle these kind of circumstances?
Yes, sir. I think the modern jail we have, like probable why 80% of the facilities in this state, would be accessible and capable of this type of custody.
Okay. I don't have any further questions.
Mr. McClelland.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sheriff Schroder, good morning. I've never met you face to face. I know we've talked on the phone, but
Yes, sir.
welcome. I want to talk specifically about Richard Allen. If the court does order you to house him, what kind of cell is he going to be in?
It would depend on his classification, as well as mental state and worried about liability and litigation, but more than likely would be in a two-person cell, probably in our intake area. It's approximately 12 feet by 7 feet, 2 steel bunks, the stainless steel toilet, and a small desk.
Would there be another inmate housed with him in that cell?
Not initially. I would not do that initially, no.
Does that cell have a video camera on it or in it?
Yes, sir.
And is it surveilled 24 hours a day?
It's supposed to be.
Supposed to be?
Yes, sir.
Fair enough, fair enough. The bed's in, well, let me back up. Initially, he'd be placed in that cell. If he's evaluated and found to be suicidal, would he be moved to a different cell?
Possibly, yes.
Tell me about the cell that you house people in that make suicidal threats or that you deem to be suicidal.
Typical. We're in the process. The last phase of remodeling is we have a...
Sure. Is there a bed in that cell?
No, sir.
It's just... I assume it's like our padded cell. It's just a big room and it's padded on all 4 walls?
Yes, sir. It's a wrestling, matte type of material that has an epoxy paint on the walls and doors and floor.
And if Mr. Allen's housed in your facility, are you going to allow him to walk from his cell to the visitation room unshackled?
Until we couldn't, unless there's some security threat or some suicide/mental health ideation, then that's within our security facility, because there are 3 layers of security, so we're not as concerned about the movement within the facility.
On the opposite side of that, if he is deemed to be suicidal or a problem, what would be the protocol for moving him from the cell to the visitation?
We would not allow visitation with attorneys until the medical staff deemed him as not suicidal.
How often do you have medical staff on hand?
We have a contract with Quality Correctional Care, and we have medical staff on site from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., so 12 hours a day.
If something happens after that time, would Mr. Allen just have to wait till the next day to see medical staff?
If it's psychiatric, possibly. If it's medical, it would be
outside of medical emergency where you had to call EMTs or whatever it is. But if something happens outside that range, does he just have to wait till the next day to be seen?
Yes.
Okay. And you talked about the shower time. Will he have rec time?
We try to accommodate that. Yes,
Can you tell me about what kind of rec time he would have?
Based on if he's an administrat EVA segregation. They're locked in 23 hours a day. We provide the 1 hour a day. We have 3 separate recreation areas that we provide ability to get out and walk, do large muscle exercises, as well as has a large overhead door to create an outdoor air movement environment.
Sure. Talked about the attorney-client visitations. If Mr. Allen's housed in your facility, is he going to be able to have face-to-face family visitations?
No, sir.
What kind of visitations will he be able to have?
We use a third-party vendor. Our system's currently contracted with HomeWave, and we have kiosks or tablet/iPad type devices that they can use for educational, as well as communication purposes.
Would Mr. Allen be allowed to take that tablet into his cell?
He could, yes.
And would he be able to make phone calls from that tablet?
There is the ability to make calls, but not video calls, so it may simply.
What about to send? Here in our county we call them chirps, but they're texts. What about the ability to send text messages to people?
Yes, that capability exists, yes.
And during this lunchtime, rec time, those times he's out of his cell, would he have interaction with other inmates in your facility?
It would be minimal, maybe passing in the hallway or in the secure area of intake, but not generally is what I would speculate our stance would be.
Sure. This is kind of a hypothetical. I understand he has to go through the intake process and those things. But with what you know now, if you were to house Richard Allen, would he be eating lunch with all the other inmates during the regular lunch hour?
No, sir.
Okay. Talked about the medical staff. Do you have any mental health staff that's available on your payroll?
We do not have full-time mental health capabilities. We have an agreement approximately 4 hours a week with 4 County, or this is now for C Mental Health out of Logansport, as well as every other week with our medical provider. They either have someone come on site or it's a telehealth type visit.
Okay. So 4 hours a week between the two organizations or some kind of telephone conference with a partner that you're working with?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be very close, yes.
Now, transportation. If Mr. Allen's housed in your facility, are you and your staff willing to transport him to the Carroll County Courthouse for hearings and/or the Allen County Courthouse for hearings?
No, sir. He's not my inmate.
Okay. And so who would that responsibility fall on?
Fall back on the original agency, unless there's some agreement made. Because as we house inmates or offenders for other counties, we are simply the housing facility.
Sure.
We're not the transport agency.
Fair to say you don't transport for any other county that you're housing an inmate for. That's their responsibility. You're just the housing unit?
Correct.
Okay. Again, you testified about this, but the meetings, even the meetings between Mr. Allen and his attorney will be recorded. Is that correct?
Video only, yes.
Video only with no audio.
Correct.
But they are recorded.
Yes.
And you had said, the attorneys will be able to have laptops and cell phones in the visits?
Yes.
But does the offender have access to those?
No.
Okay. And so those are separated by a piece of glass, I think you said. And so even though the attorney's allowed to have the computer and the cell phone, the offender can't access it, can't touch it, those kind of things?
Correct.
You'd mentioned just a little bit, but you said initially he would be placed in a holding cell by himself.
Correct.
And I don't want to assume anything, but why, initially, would you put him in a holding cell by himself?
I will be worried about. Is it okay if I speak freely, ma'am?
Of course.
We classify our offenders, and we worry about. My job is to house them and keep them safe, so I worry about and we classify and move our inmates and offenders, and we try to enter administrative housing. For example, child molesters or suspected child molesters. We try to protect them from getting repercussions from other offenders.
Sure.
And this is a large media and area event that I would be concerned about.
Sure.
Any type of retaliation, if you will.
Sure.
And that would be the reason. Also, as we come in, we still quarantine, we still follow diminished COVID protocols. I'll call them COVID protocols, but...
Sure. And, Sheriff, I'm going to be candid with you. The fear is that if someone is alleged to have committed a crime or convicted of a crime that involves children, there's a fear of retaliation from the other inmates?
Yes, sir.
And that's a concern of yours?
Yes, sir.
And do you have that concern with Mr. Allen?
Yes, sir.
You have not been calm. Well, let me ask. Has anyone communicated to you a threat concerning Mr. Allen?
No, sir.
Have you seen any threats that say, we're going to get Mr. Allen?
No, sir.
And so you're basing this on your past experience?
Yes, sir.
And you have that concern with Mr. Allen?
Yes, sir.
I don't have any other questions, Judge.
Mr. Rozzi.
You house offenders all the time that have co-defendants in cases, common witnesses, all kinds of common connections, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Informants in drug cases?
Yes, sir.
They all bring about concerns about safety, don't they?
Yes, sir.
But you deal with those in an appropriate manner and do your best to make sure everybody's safe?
I believe I do my best. I believe that some will argue whether it's appropriate or not, but yes.
Okay. You mentioned the recreational opportunities. Look, this isn't Disney World, right?
Right?
But you've got 3 separate rec rooms that you showed me on the camera the other day that would be suitable for somebody like Mr. Allen or him.
Correct.
And is it fair to say that Mr. McClelland asked you about the cell, and I think you said it was, I'm looking at my notes, 12 by 7 cell, 2 steel bunks. It's basically a 2-man cell.
Yes.
And, in fact, it actually has a little pod outside of it, which is more of kind of a seating area where, what I would call a day room area. Is that right?
In a mental health/medical area that we haven't occupied yet. Yes.
I was gonna say, it's kind of a unique situation, 'cause you've got a little cell room, and then you've got another room where the offender can go to that's got a table and
Yes.
an area to sit, a kind of leisure area, right?
Correct. We haven't occupied that yet, but that is the goal down the road, which would include, so the cell now that I described does not have a shower in it. It has a toilet/sink/drinking fountain combination. So anyone in those has to be moved to a separate cell or for showering. This area, to try to accommodate medical, people with casts, canes, those kind of things, as well as mental health incidents, has a shower, as well as a table area in that so that we have less movement of that person.
Okay. You mentioned mental health, and Mr. McClelland asked you about this. You've mentioned 4 county counseling, right?
Yes, sir.
Is it a fairly expansive mental health organization in Cass County and 3 other counties?
Yes.
Hence the name?
Yes.
And they are basically at your fingertips in terms of your providing services?
Yes and no. Most of the work they do for us is grant-based, but they provide services as well as a navigator in mental health, as well as the mental health from our medical provider.
And theirs? Do you agree there's hundreds of people in your jail with mental health issues?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that your jail is equipped to deal with those in a reasonable way when they come about?
In the most extreme, Cassie, yes, but the general addiction or depression and those types of mental health issues, no. We don't have the resources to do that.
Most extreme cases meaning like suicide issues and things like that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McClelland asked you about family visits, and you suggested, well, there's no contact. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Is it fair to say that family members often come to the jail to visit with they come to the facility to visit with inmates?
Yes, it is.
Basically, you've got an area where they can come in and, essentially, get on a TV screen and look at their significant other or whatever, right?
Yes. Our system has dual capability. You can do it remotely, which there's a fee for that because of the third-party vendor, or you can come into our lobby and use our kiosk, probably like most jail custody facilities, and you can visit for free from that location during the normal movement times. It would be a little different in this case if he would happen to be housed there and in this segregation cell, because that is not his free movement, and it would take the staff to move him to get to a tablet or a kiosk.
And as far as do you have pastoral counseling on a routine basis at your jail?
Yes, sir.
And as far as in-person contact, lawyer-client in-person contact, is it fair to say that you've accommodated me when I need to sit down in the airspace of a client and share information with them?
Yes.
That you have the ability to do that too?
Yes. We do have a contact attorney room that we use, not on a routine basis, but we use when an attorney would ask to say, I need some time with my client, I need to have him sign some documents, or I need to spend some time with him. It's more.
or show him videos?
Yes,
Photographs? Things like that?
we have it, but it's more the exception than the rule, yes.
But I've used that, haven't I?
Yes, sir.
And it's not much of a hassle, is it?
No, sir.
Nothing further.
Mr. McClelland.
Sheriff Schroder, I forgot to ask you, what about clothing? How many?
We change jumpsuits every, I believe it's 3 days. I believe that's the DOC guideline we follow, Department of Corrections, through the Jail Operations Manual.
And so if it's every 3 days, it sounds like they'd be given 2 sets of clothing a week, perhaps 3 sets of clothing a week.
We typically only give them one and then exchange them one for one.
Okay, fair enough. If an inmate were to soil his clothing on the first day, are they just stuck with them?
No, sir. They make a
Okay, tell me the protocol.
They make a request through. Every cell has an intercom speaker system, and they could alert the corrections officers. Hey, I need a new suit. I soiled myself, and then they will accommodate that.
Sure,
I can't say it's immediate, but
sure,
it will be.
sure.
The time, yes.
I don't have any other questions, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Sheriff. You may step down.